Well, back to the usual stuff, sort of. I've gotten the 850 washed and I topped it up with clear gas, non-oxygenated, so it shouldn't eat through any of the hosing over the winter. So I'm gonna pop it back in the corner here and put the car cover on it. Probably repark the red M3 so it's a little bit closer to the wall, although I have to take the cover off and see how clean it is and how low on gas it is. I may still have to drive that once yet this year to make sure it's ready for storage. Then the Green Touring's coming back in here just temporarily, while the Unicorn 3.0 is on the lift upstairs, getting the coilovers cranked up, and a couple other little things. But that will be going upstairs shortly for some magical turbo swap fun time, hopefully. And then obviously the Fiat just coming home. But a little bit of rearranging to do here. Yeah. So she is in the corner, got the battery tender hooked up to it. Probably could have squeezed it a little bit more, but it's a little nerve-wracking to back this thing up next to a cast concrete berm. So got all the accessories unplugged. Again, it's full on good non-ethanol gas. So a couple of years ago when I parked this over the winter, I had regular fuel in it, 10% ethanol. And I started it up in the spring and the fuel filter hose started to leak gasoline for the first 5 minutes. I've switched over to the good stuff while storing it and it's been much happier since. So gonna keep doing that. Just gonna pop the cover over it. This isn't a paid plug or anything, but Cover King is one of 2 companies that makes a cover that actually fits this car, which is kind of nice. This one was pretty reasonable cost-wise. So if you have an 8 Series and you store it, I do recommend you grab one of these. Well, she's actually looking really nice and clean still. To see how much fuel's in it. It's a little nerve-wracking. Oh, apparently no big deal. The battery might even be dead at this point. Half a tank. She always fires right up, that's good. I think I'll let it run for a few minutes just to charge up the battery. Guess I'll, in the meantime, pull it next to the 850 and see how much like sardines I can pack them in there. Since this car is right-hand drive, should be able to get it nice and close without really having any issue. Oh, no, not the radio. YouTube won't be happy. Oh, parking brake, I'm dumb. And there's the chair. Back up just a hair. Oh, I can get a lot closer yet, okay. So I think if I'm very careful, I can probably fit at least 2 more cars in here. Because that thing can hug up to the wall pretty close. I don't know, we'll see. I think I have to drive that car once more this season anyway, so probably shut it off now and go back upstairs, but at least she's still starting, that's good. Well, today I've got the Unicorn up in the air still, and my aftermarket coilover wrenches finally came. These are BC Racing coilovers. They are of unknown age and origin, but they have a lot of thread on them, and they don't look like they're in too bad of condition. So I'm going to take the wheels off and try to see if I can get some more ground clearance out of this car. Because the road rally it's going on is going to be in the middle of February in Wisconsin. I don't know if you guys know geographically what's going on in Minneapolis, between Minneapolis and Wisconsin Dells in February, but it involves a lot of snow. So this would probably be okay because it has good snow tires on it, but since it has coilovers and it's pretty likely I'll be able to adjust the ride height, I figured it was worth the 20 bucks to buy these fancy wrenches, which actually have 1/2-inch socket holes in them, so in case I need a little more torque, we can do that. I'm actually going to drop it down a little bit more just so I can get the impact on those wheel bolts a little more easily. And I'm also going to get that M3 back up in the air and replace the transmission fluid and top off the differential fluid, just because I did not do that. I didn't have the fluid, now I do, so yay. Now I have to peel that white plastic dip off, but first things first, the trunk was left open, so the battery's dead again. I've got it sitting on the charger. I'll probably go take the 355 to the gas station and fill it up for the season here while this charges up, because this tire felt a little bit low. We will see. I still have to get to that M3 before I leave, so probably makes sense to get the Ferrari out of the way, and that thing needs a gas fill anyway, so that's next. Come on, Cozy Cool. Go. Well, it's been on the charger for about 15 minutes. No! She ain't ready. Enough farting around. Got a big battery on it now too. Come on. Has to just be battery connection at this point. She's definitely cranking. Sheesh. Not sure what's going on here. She started right up in the basement. Aha! Definitely a bad battery connection. These cables have quite a bit of corrosion on them. I guess it's not too surprising that this is being as difficult as it is. I won't bore you guys with the details. I'm going to try to find a better ground point. Not even close. So sparks on both the battery and on this terminal. Might have to get a wire brush. Oh, for goodness sake. I'm going to wire brush everything. Well, they were pretty bad. Let's see. No. I guess I just had to wire brush the connections. Well, I picked a heck of a time to figure out that the E34 does not have any sort of cigarette lighter in it. So, jump starting it with the Fiat with that indispensable run flat compressor that came with the car. I've used that so many times, and I've only used it maybe once on the Fiat. Well, here I am filling the transmission. Sorry, this is really tough to get a view of. There we go. I cracked the fill plug first, as you always do, to make sure you can put fluid in it. Both the fill and the drain felt like they had never been touched before. The fluid that came out was red though. It looked like Redline D4, and this originally would have had Pentosan ATF1 or the Phoebe fluid in it, which is gold. So it has been serviced once in 120,000 miles, which is good. As you can see, Redline MT90 is kind of gold going into there, so I'm just gonna wait until she's topped up and then put her back together and drive her home. Well, this thing is done. Just going off for coating tomorrow and then ready for a life of honing and track time for this guy.